South Africa, welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Bonnie Mbuli. It's a Thursday, and true to form, we bring you all fashion and beauty advice to get you summer ready. As you can see, I'm also wearing a pink ribbon. That's because October is Breast Cancer Month. For the rest of the month, we'll be focusing around issues pertaining that. In the loft today, though, we have the founders of fashion label Finders, and they'll be chatting to us about their journey to success. I'm not alone. Jeannie, Miss Pocahontas, is in the kitchen.
Tatanka, well, here's the thing, Bunny. You know, it being the 1st of October and all, everybody is feeling the pressure to get in shape. I mean, I've been drinking apple cider vinegar all week, and actually, you are now going to destroy that by making one of the most delicious chocolate cakes ever. Claire, tell me about this
cake.
I
do have a bit of good news for you. It's flourless. Yes. Does that count for something?
No, absolutely not. It better be delicious.
It's going to be delicious. It's a chocolate chipotle and almond cake. Yummy.
Please explain to me what chipotle is, because it's
smoky dried jalapenos. Quite simply.
Okay, chipotle. chocolate. That's what's happening on today on the show. Remember, you can cook with us. All you need to do is visit our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, for today's shopping list of this delicious chipotle chocolate cake. But first, my chocolate sun goddess, Bonnie, is back on the couch.
That's so cute, Jeannie. They began by selling skirts out of the boot of their car in 2000. 15 years later, through sheer dedication and a vision to translate traditional South African style to the world, they've built a successful and revolutionary fashion brand which has been showcased globally. Joining us on the couch are the founders of Finders, Thando and Vanya Mangaliso. Welcome to the loft.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Oh my gosh, it's such an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Sure.
We're very honored to be here.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for having
you.
us.
Looking amazing.
I know, thank you, thank you. So you've just returned from London, showcasing at London Fashion Week. Tell us about that experience, alongside 8 other amazing designers from all over the world. What was that like?
Oh, it was unbelievable, you know. As you know, we steep ourselves in culture and history, and our unique selling point is being South African. So people were very, very excited. They'd never seen the silhouettes that we had presented before. And as you know, London is a very global place, so it's quite interesting when someone says they're seeing a skirt for the first time. What is it about? What is the history about it? And it wasn't only there, but everywhere that we went, people were like excited, you know, wanting to know more about South Africa and wanting to know more about our traditions.
Yeah, and you, Vanya, how did you find it?
It was really amazing. As it says, you know, people in London are very spoilt. They get to see the best and, you know...
Yeah, they're spoilt for choice
Exactly.
as well.
So it's very amazing for people to say, this is interesting, this is different. So we had a good run, you know, met a couple of interesting people, and we're lucky to do 2 shows in London, which was really great, and we look forward to more. It was a learning curve also, because, you know, you learn to do things more globally now. You understand what it is. When you think in London, it's different when you think South African market.
Yeah. Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And some of your pieces paid homage to the great Nelson Mandela. Why that decision?
Well, I mean, you know, our range was called South African Lux Endurance. If you think of Mr. Mandela, he epitomizes endurance. If you think of his winning spirit and the vision that he had for the country, you know, which not only inspired us, but people all over the world. You mention the name Mandela, everyone's heart softens up a bit.
They pay attention,
you know? Yeah, no, for sure. And, you know, that's what it's about. You know, he's a great man, and we just wanted our first show to pay homage to one of our greatest leaders ever.
Yeah. You started your clothing brand in 2000, selling skirts out of a boot of a car, and went on to open 5 stores in 5 different cities in the country. That journey, how did you grow and expand like that?
It was really crazy. Like you say, I think it happened over 5 years, and we're also parents of 4 children.
Yes, so I'm getting to that.
So it was like total madness. You know, when we started out, we just, you know, wanted just to see people wearing the clothes, just wanted to see the brand out there. And, you know, we started, and then the reaction was great, and we just kind of grew from there. But with a lot of hard work and sheer determination and a lot of challenges, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy, and we've evolved, we've learned so much, and also changed how we feel about certain things, and it's just been great.
Yeah, and when you started out, you say that either of you had experience in the fashion industry before. You didn't know where to buy a zip or a bead. And how did you learn so quickly?
Well, I mean, we both come from business backgrounds. I studied business in France, and I always understood the power of fashion and the role that fashion plays within society. And that's what it was. You know, we came back. We wanted to work with designers like a young designers emporium. And before you knew it, we're entrepreneurs, you know. So we looked at the whole thing, buy a couple of machines, get the fabric going, and we have become designers.
Yeah.
Like you said, someone says to me, get an invisible zip and a zip locker. Now, where do I start?
Yeah.
You know, you've got no experience, but, you know, when you're determined and you're passionate about what you want, you go get what you need, and that's what it's about, you know.
Oh, that's incredible.
Like for us, it was really about, it wasn't fashion so much that was driving us, but like he says, he understood the power of fashion. It was about creating a South African brand, luxury brand, that we could export, something that we could be proud of, and also preserving a certain South African aesthetic that wasn't out there. I mean, when we started in 2000, when you got off the plane in South Africa, you could have been anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Now, when you get off the plane, you can see there's something African, there's something,
There's
you know.
a definite flavour.
Unlike when you, I mean, I traveled a lot to places like the Congo. You get off the plane, you see African fabrics, you see this, you see this.
Yeah.
15 years ago, you'd never saw that in South Africa, but South Africans now are more aware of fashion and what it means. Like he says, the power of fashion to communicate, also as an economic contributor. I mean, people are aware of that you can make a lot of money from fashion. We've definitely enjoyed success in fashion, obviously not without challenges, but we know what it's about.
Yeah, and speaking of challenges, in 2009 you had to close some of your stores.
Oh, yeah.
How did you come back from such a big challenge and that some would view as a setback?
Sure.
I think, you know, business is like life. It mirrors life. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, you know. And I go on to say, what we experienced in closing 2 or 3 shops, I'd never take that experience away for R1 million.
Wow.
In that it made me stronger, it made me a better person. I had to go through it, you know, it's a real business. If you do not sell or if things get out of control, leases come to an end. There are many reasons why, you know, we closed the shop. But the experience was fantastic. I think we are stronger people now, a bit more cutthroat and, you know, very focused and very serious in business.
Yeah,
and we're very proud of all the achievements that we have made. You know, you can't just think of Sangoris as just a fashion brand. We're a full South African luxury lifestyle brand, you know, and that begins with the launch of our fragrance in 2006, the Sun Goddess fragrance and the Gumgani, and we go on to launch another fragrance called Usapo, which is a family fragrance, you know, and so on and so forth. Sunglasses, shoes, bags, you name it, you know, we've done it all, and we still. And the nice thing is, yes, we've been doing it for 15 years, but we're still very young. We grew up in this business. And South Africa has always supported us, and that's something that we are very grateful for.
Yeah,
you know?
South Africans are very supportive.
Yeah, very supportive.
Oh my gosh. Time flies when you're having fun, and there's so much to talk about, but you're not going anywhere. We're going to see some of your goodies in a bit, right?
No, for sure.
Okay, awesome. After the break, Jeannie makes us a cake, and we get under the skin with media personality Jen Su.
This week on Winner Home, the contestants are free to express their ingenuity and creativity by designing and decorating the spare room. They can turn the room into anything they wish with a budget of 35,000 Rand. It can be a room for the kids, a room for work, or a room for exercise. But there's no room for mistakes on Winner Home. Catch Winner Home on SABC3 on Friday at 7:30 or the repeat on Saturday at 4:30. That's Winner Home. Find it on 3.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Very excited. I'm going to learn how to make my very first chocolate cake in the kitchen, and it's a chipotle flowers chocolate almond cake. And remember, you can learn too. So all you need to do is visit our website and go and get all of these ingredients and cook with us or bake with us. It's fun today. We bake. Okay, how do we get started?
How fun is that?
You've already done a few things. You've prepared some stuff already.
A few steps, just sort of streamline them just so we can get this done. So we've started our egg whites, which you're going to continue. We're looking for a nice stiff peak. And over here we've just melted our butter and chocolate. Let it cool slightly because you don't want a hot chocolate because that's going to melt your beautifully whipped egg whites, which you're going to get going on that. And what I've got here is the yolks of the egg whites. So just separate them, and we're just going to whisk this up and cream the egg yolks and the sugar together.
So I'm just going to
push that one, the middle one, and then push that one.
That one.
This one? There we go.
Okay, now when you mean white peaks, that's when you can turn the bowl over and nothing will fall out. Is that
so
true?
that's
the test.
Do you want to do that?
Why not? Let's give it a whirl.
Okay, so
this isn't really going fast enough for me. It's not quite my speed.
Crank it up one more time.
Okay, thanks.
And
now what are you doing?
I was nice enough to give you the electric beater, and I'm using a hand one. So
okay, good.
Ultimately, you want to really whisk this until it's light and pale, but quite frankly, my muscles don't allow me to do that.
No, I know, and this thing either. We want more speed. Come. Is that the idea? I mean, am I going too fast now?
No, perfect. So as long as you're, with a handheld mixer, if you can't walk away from it. The issue is when you've got a standing mixer. Like a mess in the kitchen today.
Why is there always chaos when I'm in this kitchen? It's true.
If you've got a standing mixer and you walk away and off you go and you get busy, you're doing all sorts of things, you're going to end up overbeating it. But that's...
Am I overbeating?
No, I think you're actually pretty good there. Do you want to turn it off and test it? So just turn that off and just lift the beater through there. So that's, sort of soft peak. So you can go a little bit more. While you do that, I'm going to add the cocoa. So we're just adding that in there. Carefully just whisk this in here because you don't want to end up in a cloud of chocolate.
All right.
And mix it all over the bowl like I'm just doing now. Just carefully beat this up together. And what we've done here is we've just taken the Woolworths dried chipotle chilies and we've just soaked them in some water. That's looking good. Done. Perfect.
Okay.
We just soak this in some water for an hour or two, just so that it takes on a little bit of hydration, and we can use it. Otherwise, you can end up chomping on pieces of chili.
Yeah, that's not great. But does it have a chili burn?
It doesn't have like an intense chili burn like you would if you actually put red chilies inside here. It's just got a beautiful sort of fieriness to the cake.
Oh, there's going to be some heat in this chocolate.
Okay, so do you want to add the chocolate into here? It's not hot, so you can just pick it right up. Just grab the bowl. Okay. There we go, and just scoop that into there.
Sure.
We're just going to add a little bit of liquid into this so we can...
that just looks incredible.
How stunning is that? So that's the butter and dark chocolate.
I mean, the discipline that's required when making this cake is just not eating it right now.
Well, there's always a bowl to
You've actually got to finish.
It all depends on how well you scrape it, and if you don't scrape it that well, then you can just lick it.
Well, you shouldn't have told me that, because I'm one hell of a bowl licker.
You know that whole thing about using the exact measurements? Not today.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so while you do that...
I'm trying to get it all out for you,
I'm just going to get a good whisk into this.
Okay.
So we're just looking to incorporate all the ingredients nicely together, and then we're going to fold in. So we said it's flourless, so no flour anywhere it can be seen. We're using ground almonds. So these ground almonds are going to give a sort of body to the cake and a beautiful nuttiness. So they're going to kind of golden it. Well, you are not going to see the color, but the taste is going to be that sort of roasted golden nut. So that goes in there, and we're going to use that spatula that you're...
Here.
Do you want to bring over that?
Do you need the spatula?
Spatula back?
You really need it.
Definitely do.
There you go.
So I'm going to fold this in. While I'm folding in this, you can actually spoon in just top in some of the meringue, and you want to do bit by bit. So that's so go for about a third of that, just to loosen up.
I actually would have been able to hold it over my head.
You're just loosening up the batter so that you don't end up, because right now we're going to end up actually beating quite furiously into the egg white that we've just whipped up. So you don't want to throw the whole mixture in and then you end up losing all that beautiful air that you've just whipped. So now that we just...
But is this going to end up being like one of those moussey cakes and not a cake because there's no flour in it?
No, it's quite
substantial.
It's quite similar to a normal cake. You'd be surprised. Okay, now you can pop it all in. We're going to slowly fold that in. And then into our greased tin. You can use, we've got a bundt tin that we've just greased, or you can use a regular cake tin, whatever you like. Bundt is just, it looks pretty. The thing with a flourless cake, it doesn't sort of puff up as much as a normal cake. Because there's no yeast in it,
so it wouldn't rise.
Well, in a normal cake, you're not going to put yeast. You're going to put baking powder and baking soda. That's sort of your raising agents. But this is the egg white that's going to go with that.
Okay, great. So we're going to stick that in there, and we're going to be back with this glorious cake in a little bit. But first, over to you, Bonnie.
Now, when you spend a lot of time traveling between different time zones, finding the right product can give you that refreshing look, or it can be really challenging. In today's Getting Under Your Skin series, we find out how globetrotting Jen Sue always shows up looking flawless.
Hi, I'm Jen Sue, TV and radio presenter. South Africa knows me as a TV presenter, news anchor on Business Day TV, and also a hat-loving socialite. Something that South Africa doesn't know about me is that I commute 12,500 kilometers every 2 weeks between Johannesburg, Cape Town, and then also Shanghai, China. So I live part of my time in China and I live part of the time here in South Africa. And it's a lot of traveling. My basic skincare regime is cleansing, toning, hydrating, and of course exfoliating is very important. I really love the Dermalogica products like Active Moist, which is great for when you're on the go, you're traveling a lot, you're working out, and yet you want something that's moisturizing, and also the Daily Microfoliant. Well, when I was young, I used to have a lot of pimples. So it was a matter of, pimples in the T-zone, that kind of thing. And it was really difficult to actually overcome that stage of my life. Fortunately, now that I'm a little older, I don't have to deal with the pimples. But sometimes dry skin is, what my concern is these days. Tips to look after your skin. Well, definitely drinking lots of water and getting a lot of rest is very important. Those late nights can really catch up on you. And most importantly, taking vitamins, also cleansing and toning and moisturizing. And then about once or twice a week, you should try to exfoliate your skin. I think all those things are very important for healthy skin. And most importantly, a smile. A smile can really bring out the glow in your skin. And well, that's what you need.
We're happy to have Dermalogica expert Lauren Gibson back in the loft to chat all things skincare. Welcome back, Lauren.
Hi, Bonnie.
Now, Jensu says she struggled with acne when she was younger, but if you look at her skin now, it's flawless. What do you say to young people who are actually still struggling with acne right now?
Well,
even adults as well.
Well, I mean, acne is a genetic skin condition, so it affects teens and adults, and a lot of people think that it's something that just affects teenagers. But unfortunately, if you've got that acne gene, like we like to say, anything can trigger that development to start again, and you could get it later on in adulthood. So, having a clean skin, visiting a skin therapist every month, that's really important.
Wow. Now, Jensu has a very busy lifestyle, and she says she travels so much. How does Dermalogica cater for that?
Well, we're a customizable brand, so we like to ensure that our products actually fit into our client's lifestyle. So we've got a range of multitasking products like moisturizers and sunscreens. We've got 2-in-1s, and we've even got products that work on your skin at night when you're sleeping. So you can wake up the next morning with that fantastic glow, ensuring a happy, healthy skin.
Yeah. And how do different climates while traveling actually affect the skin?
Well, that entirely depends on what country you're going to, because every country's got a different climate. But certain things that affect the skin on different levels. We've got dehydration. Now, dehydration is normally due to the environment in the plane. So that horrible air con that you're sitting in for 11 to 12 hours. Something like breakouts. So if you're going to a very hot or a very humid environment, this is quite common. And then sensitivity. This can be from excessive dehydration. It can even be from going into a very cold or a very hot climate. And that's normally found across the cheek area.
Wow. And what tips do you have for people traveling on how to maintain their skin?
Okay, well, the most important thing is to ensure that you're keeping your skin clean and you're keeping it hydrated. So something I would definitely recommend is a handy pre-cleanse wipe. This is a wipe that can actually be used across the skin to remove makeup, dirt or oil.
Right, and you can travel with it as
absolutely.
well.
It comes in a pack of 20 wipes. Something like a travel-size cleanser. So a cleanser that you could apply while you're sitting on the plane and actually tissue off, like our Ultra Calming Cleanser. That's really handy, and it's great for camping or backpacking as well. And then for hydration, I definitely recommend spritzing or toning. This can be done while you're flying.
I love spritzing.
It's the best. It gives you that nice, refreshed look on your skin. But it also allows that topical hydration. And then a trick that I love to do is actually applying a thin layer of a skin hydrating mask underneath your moisturizer, because that really locks the hydration into your skin while you're flying.
Underneath your moisturizer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow, that's a great
It's a colourless gel, so no one can see it.
Yeah.
And it really ensures that your skin is hydrated for that long journey.
Yeah. And of course, a good SPF.
Yes, definitely. So, I mean, if I had to recommend some products for Jen, I definitely want to make sure that she's using an SPF if she's not already. Because of her crazy travel schedule, I definitely recommend a multitasking. So maybe a moisturizer, SPF, and age-fighting product like our Dynamic Skin.
Age-fighting.
Everybody loves that.
Don't say that word.
And then one of our new products that have actually hit the shelves today is the Overnight Retinol Repair. Now, this product is one of those products that are going to work while you sleep. So it's going to help with skin renewal. It's going to help slow down the process of aging and wake up with that glow the next morning. And what I love best about it is that it comes with a buffer cream. So you can actually customize the strength of your retinol, ensuring that you're getting skin renewal and intense hydration, which are two things that any traveler should look for in skincare.
Oh, thank you so much, Lauren. Very insightful.
It's a pleasure.
When it comes to traveling, you certainly want picture-perfect skin because those photos will last forever, and also there's always the internet. Special thanks to Dermalogica expert Lauren for joining us in the loft today and shedding light on how to maintain good skin. After the break, we share some beach fashion tips to get you ready for summer, and we speak to one of South Africa's top interior designers, Kyle Roo.
The #1 choice of skincare professionals worldwide.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, once the holidays are here, it's going to be a mad rush to get fabulous from head to toe and hit that beach. So don't leave it to the last minute. Get groomed to perfection now, so that all you need to do is grab your beach bag and go. Joining us in the loft is fashion and beauty blogger Candice Lee Kannemeyer, here to share all of her expert tips to get us looking and feeling summer ready. Firstly, welcome to our loft.
Thank you, Jeannie.
You
Great
are
to be here.
the ultimate in like beauty expert.
Oh, thank you
no,
so
because
much.
you are what you say, so you always look your best. So,
Thank you.
getting ready for summer is
Yes.
incredibly daunting. I've hit a full panic already. How can we make sure that we look amazing from head to toe?
Well, you know, I think one of the first topics that we must touch on is self-tanning. And a lot of women always say to me, Candice, how do I prevent, you know, those horrible orange streaks and whatnot? So exfoliation is key before before you use any self-tanner, because what exfoliation does is it removes the top layer of dead skin cells, so the product that you use can actually penetrate. When it comes to little tips just for areas like the knees and elbows, which traditionally do go orange, I always say to ladies, apply your self-tanner first, and then what's left over on your hands, just gently sort of rub that over the knees, maybe the tops of the feet and the hands. If you're using a spray self-tanner, make sure that you are standing on a towel so that so the underneath of your feet do not get orange. Yes, exactly.
I'm not much of a self-tanner, but I'm a big exfoliator. Isn't that also good just to get a natural glow?
Well, absolutely, because like I said, you know, it will remove all those dead skin cells, so it will give your skin a beautiful, beautiful glow.
Okay, good. Next tip, keeping our bodies spruced up from head to toe.
Yes, okay, so feet. And, you know, now summer is traditionally, you know, when we're all walking around in sandals or open sort of shoes. And what this does is it causes the skin to dehydrate. So, you know, things like cracked heels and dry feet become a little bit of an issue. No, cracked heels is never a good look, you know. So the way to get around this is obviously to exfoliate the feet. I absolutely love the Scholl electronic foot file, which I've had for a year now.
I did their online campaign, and I must tell you, they were filming my feet, and thank goodness I was using that.
But it's a really, really, really great tool. So what that will do is just keep the feet soft and free of like any hard skin.
Yes.
And then also what I say to ladies and gents is just before you go and sleep at night, just put some cream on the feet every night, and I promise you that will keep your feet looking absolutely stunning.
Soft feet are the absolute
Soft
best.
feet, absolutely.
Okay, so it's not a mad rush to get to the beach. We always have to be prepared. So what are the essentials, I suppose, to pack in your beach bag so that you can spend an entire day basking in the sun or shade?
Number one on my list is sunscreen. You know, no matter how light, how dark you are, you have to have sunscreen. You know, the sun is really, really harsh, and I reckon SPF 50. You want a good pair of sunglasses.
Even in winter, sunscreen.
Even in winter, I mean, it's you know, the sun is damaging. The sun really is what causes aging lines and wrinkles and pigmentation. Next up, you want a really great pair of sunglasses. You know, and you want to invest a little bit of money here because you want something with a good lens that's actually going to protect your eyes. I like, because I colour my hair, I like a good hair mask because that also just protects the hair from chlorine when you're going in the pool or from salt water when you're in the sea.
And just to keep it moisturised and silky.
Exactly. You want a nice beach hat to protect the scalp and obviously to protect your skin as well. I'm always lugging my huge beach umbrella because I prefer to sit under the umbrella with my sunscreen and my hat because, you know, even just from the reflection friction of the beach sand, you know, that can even cause you can get tanned from that. Yeah. You also want a good pair of flip-flops, you know, because you don't want to be burning your lovely-looking feet. And you want a nice cover-up as well, which is also key. You want to hydrate with water. And then also what I love taking along with me is a nice hydrating facial spritzer. And I reckon it's good to look for one with built-in antioxidants, because antioxidants also help protect your skin from those UV rays.
Okay, those are amazing tips. But now, from the neck down.
Yeah.
Bathing suits, swimming costumes.
Okay, well,
what are the must-haves?
Well, you know, it all depends on your body shape and what you are comfortable with. And I always say to ladies, you know, if your tummy is a little bit of an issue, like I have an issue with my tummy, especially after you've had kids and whatnot, you know, a full costume is a really a great option. Also, you know, the higher the sort of cut of the full costume, the longer it makes your legs look.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So that Baywatch all the way
you don't
up.
want to go all the way up there, because maybe that's a little bit dated. But you know, the higher the leg cut, the longer it makes the leg look. You know, if you're very busty, you want to look for something with an underwire, or maybe even like a halter neck sort of bikini top that will support the bust area. Yeah. And if you're sporty, or if you're a little bit flat-chested, you can always look for something with a little bit of a ruffle detail on the bikini top, because that will sort of give the illusion of slightly a bigger bust. You know, also what's very in at the moment is sort of the retro bikini with the high-waisted bikini bottom.
I wish I could pull that off, but sadly, I wasn't built for that.
You've got to have a really slim physique, and you've got to maybe be like, I don't know, 16, 17, 18, maybe, you know, if you're older, give it a bit of a miss, you know. So yeah, those are my top tips.
I am still 18.
Me too.
Those are fantastic tips. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the beach.
Likewise, Jeannie.
Thank you so much for visiting. Thank you so much. Now, you know what to pack, so we're all going to be hitting the beach really soon. Don't miss the chance to win the ultimate summer vacation for two to Reunion Island for an entire week. This is what you need to do. First, make sure that your feet are ready for their moment in the spotlight with a Soul Velvet Smooth electronic foot file. Then snap a footsie, a selfie of your feet, looking velvet smooth, and then enter via Twitter or Facebook using the hashtags Footsie and hashtag Afternoon Express. That island holiday that you've been dreaming of could be just one snap of your feet away. T's and C's apply, so please visit the Afternoon Express website for details.
From wild nature to clear blue lagoons, Reunion Island offers the traveller a unique adventure, exploring a diversity of landscapes and cultures in one exceptional environment. Classified as a World Heritage Site, Reunion Island's stunning landscape allows you to travel from a volcanic desert into a tropical forest, all in a day. Enjoying the harmony of the island, you can experience a variety of cultures and tastes, from Asian cuisine to Creole markets. Reunion is paradise found. To enter, take a snap of your feet looking velvet smooth and enter via Twitter or Facebook using the hashtags Footsie and Afternoon Express.
Shell Velvet Smooth Electronic Foot File. Perfectly smooth skin after one use.
We are thrilled to welcome one of South Africa's most established interior designers, Kyle Root, to the loft this afternoon. Kyle, very warm welcome.
Thanks, Danilo.
We've had some real incredible guests sitting on this couch, but I'm really inspired by the work that you do, so I'm glad that we get to sit down and talk more about it. What have you been up to recently?
Well, we're fortunately busy with a number of projects, both in South Africa and regionally. We're working on a glamorous Clifton pad at the moment, a refurbishment. We have a Sandton townhouse that we're in the process of decorating, as well as an exclusive residential development in Nairobi and a guest house in Harare.
My wordy word, you must have the best job in the entire world. It's so cool. And you know, African design and interiors have been a part of, I think, everyone's sort of journey at the moment. Everyone seems to be putting their fingers on what Africa is doing in terms of design. What are we experiencing in Africa at the moment?
I find that that our African clients have developed a taste for good living. Having traveled abroad, they see trends overseas and they want to emulate that in their lifestyles locally in Africa.
So when we talk about African designs and interiors and people using these, what exactly do we mean by that?
Africa is so full of many different cultural colours and influences that African design has many different avenues, and it's easy to interpret the different cultural changes and different colour and texture ideas into an interior for an African client.
You've been working on a very exciting project in Cape Town in Sea Point. It's just been complete. Tell us more about it.
The apartment is for a Johannesburg couple, We wanted to avoid the typical beach aesthetic, and although we used a fresh contemporary palette, which is typical of the sort of beach aesthetic in Cape Town, we overlaid it with a lot of chic and edgy urban accents to suit the client's Johannesburg lifestyle.
And the outdoor living experience that you created for this couple?
Unfortunately, the apartment has quite a small balcony, and so we needed a solution for the balcony which provided for lazy Sunday afternoons reading a book alone or for entertaining a number of people. The stacking glass doors, which open up to the balcony, do enhance the space and enlarge it. And the linear lounges that we used from Valence created a perfect solution.
With all this interest globally with African design and interiors, I've noticed a lot of families, particularly in South Africa, like to think of African style as curio-based. Like you put these little wooden statues on or a man holding a spear, and that's African. Is that true?
In Africa, I feel that there's a broad spectrum of personal style. With Cape Town having recently enjoyed World Design Capital, African design has been taken to the world at large, and we're seeing that international suppliers are now coming back with African-inspired design. So we can now use international trends with our own influence already infused within it.
Okay, so it's not all those curios you see on a shelf making something African.
Not anymore.
A big man by the door with a spear makes it you've got an African interior. Very cool. As an interior designer, you must have a lot of research that goes into the work that you do, and I'm sure there must be some many insider secrets that you have underneath your, what do you call it, when you have it like up your sleeve. Tell us about some of those insider secrets.
Well, I think in a word, the easiest insider secret I can offer is Valence. Valence in recent years have made tasteful interior decorating very accessible and very easy. I find that when we're working on a project, one of our first stops for design and inspiration is Valence, because their products, their homewares, their furniture, they appeal to a broad sense of different interior styles.
Yes, I saw your eyes darting around our loft not too long ago. Why was that?
Oh, I recognize quite a few of the pieces here.
I mean, have you used any of them before?
We have used some of them already, yes.
Oh, look at us go. So we're on trend. We're on trend.
Absolutely.
All thanks to Valence. Okay, so in terms of the sort of tips and tricks that you have for viewers out there who maybe feel like I don't have 100 million rand to spend on my beautiful penthouse in Cape Town in Clifton, what are some of the tips that you can share with us?
Sure. I think what we try and encourage most of our clients to do is infuse some of their personal style and often some of their personal quirks into their interior. That is what makes an interior really show-stopping. And taking your personal preferences and infusing them with what is current trend often results in the best interior.
Awesome. Kyle, thank you so much for sharing these tips with us. We really, really appreciate it. Well, there it is. Kyle's work is living proof that when it comes to African interior design, we can really hold our heads up high with our own brand of Afro chic, flying the flag proudly on a global stage.
Thanks, Danilo. Now, drinking tea is becoming a trendy alternative to coffee and alcoholic beverages. It's a healthier option and it's versatile too. It's almost tea time right here in the loft. And after the break, we're going to find out how a hot new decor trend, which allows you to re-exchange, repurpose and reinvent some of your decor items and breathe new life into your living spaces, all without denting your budget. It's a great thing to do with your friends. And in this warmer weather, I suggest you do it over some iced tea. So this Five Roses flavored iced tea brings you a range of tantalizingly aromatic flavors. We've got refreshing orange over here. Delicious, nice and fresh. Then we've got tangy lemon over here. And then, of course, exotic chai spice. This is going to be tasty. Don't go away. Danilo and Bonnie are standing by to help you and your friends to find out about this cool new way to rediscover some decor treasures. We'll be right back.
Five Roses blends only the top 2 leaves of the finest Ceylon teas. Because nobody makes better tea than you and Five Roses.
So welcome back. We've got Emily from Finders Keepers in the loft with us today to unpack the new trend of decor swapping. Welcome, Emily. Lovely to have you.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Everything looks so gorgeous.
Can I just ask you one big question?
Of course.
When I think of decor swapping, I think of people trying to get rid of the stuff that they've been hoarding for the last number of years. How do we decide when it's time to keep something and when it's time to let something go?
It's a good question. For me, I think it's a personal choice because some people do get attached to items. But we can't, from a practical point of view, we can't hang on to everything. So things that you really don't like, somebody else will absolutely love. Yeah. So it's an opportunity to declutter and get together over a cup of tea with your friends and just, you know, help improve your home.
Yeah. Awesome. And I find modern trends have a big reconnecting element. Do you think this is at the core of this is just connecting with your friends over something quite practical.
Absolutely. It's a great way to get together and just to get everyone in a room talking about how they decorate their home, what they put together. And it's inspiring also to get other people's ideas.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's got a different eye, so to get inspiration from your friends.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there's like a large element of sort of repurposing when it comes to decor swapping, because you might see something that you want to repurpose. Like examples of some of those, what should we keep our eye on when we're doing something like this?
Absolutely. I mean, I've got some lovely old squash rackets there, or badminton rackets, which we could turn into mirrors. So, I mean, most people wouldn't hang on to something like that. They would either chuck it out or it would be a children's play toy for swatting flies or whatever, but you know, if you
one just wants to look at herself in the mirror. She's like, oh, you or the mirror? I can't quite tell which one it is.
So they are gorgeous. Look at that.
Yeah, and you've also used this ladle here. What happened with this ladle?
Oh yeah, that's a lovely old soup ladle. I've just made it straight and I've turned that into a soap dish. So, you know, you just put that on your wall. Yes.
Yeah, because it has a cute little hole for
so you can just put it in and then you can...
Screw it into the wall, put your soap inside it next to the base.
Yeah, so it's about repurposing things they don't normally use because we're all buying modern things. So we've got all these wonderful old things around us. We've got quite a lot of vintage things. And, I mean, this is also all coming back, so it's just about recreating your home.
Would you say lava lamps are making a big comeback?
Yes.
The 80s are making a big
yes,
comeback.
they are, absolutely.
And tin cans is something I've seen quite a lot. A lot of people use old packaging now to sort of decorate their houses. Old pasta packets or, you know, old tins of things. You've also got one there, which rocks.
Yes, that is a find I found at a market. It's wonderful, and, you know, you can get tins of all the different biscuits, teas, your sugars. It's very trendy at the moment.
It's quite appropriate since we're enjoying cups of
absolutely.
Five Roses iced tea.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You mentioned something quite pertinent earlier on about some people think that things are ugly, other people might not think that they're ugly. So what happens if I think my item is too ugly to bring to something like a decor swap?
Then bring it so you can get rid of it.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think the best idea is that, I mean, you're not going to hang on to something that's ugly. So it's the best opportunity to bring it to a party. And for you, if it might be ugly for you, but for your dear friend, they might think it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
sounds like a bad relationship. You don't hang on to something that's ugly. You should never.
Stop. Are there any hard and fast rules? Like one rule I can think of, just off the top of my head, is don't bring anything broken.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that there's rules. I'd rather use them as guidelines. So, I mean, for example, you're saying, I mean, obviously most things should be in good nick. But, for example, I've got this lovely old tray here, and the tile in the middle is broken, but the actual framework is so exquisite. But I mean, I would replace that with either a beautiful piece of wood or, you know, a very funky mirror, and I'd turn it into sort of feature piece on a dining room table or, you know, on a sideboard. So I think you just need to be aware of things that can be upcycled. And, you know, some people want to go for the china pieces, and some people want to go for the real rustic junk. So go with an open mind.
And would you say the more the merrier? Or should you just keep it to a limit of like a number of people, maybe a handful, like 4?
If you're a hoarder, you should
I was going to say, it depends on your friends. Yeah, I mean, some people really don't want to do it. I think that you'd figure out, you know, through your friends and their friends. So it's a great way to just connect with your friends and meet new people as well. And, I mean, obviously people can bring junk with them, so you need to have a decent space. So like you're saying, summer's coming. It's perfect to do it in the garden over iced tea. And, but it's also fair. One of the rules, it would be fair, if you bring 10 items, you know, then you can leave with 10 items. So you can't bring 5 items and walk off with 10.
How do you value those, though? So if I maybe brought out this vintage elephant that was handcrafted by Mahatma Gandhi himself...
Then you wouldn't want to get rid of it.
Then you wouldn't want to get rid of it, true. But how do you value the items that you're bringing to know what to swap it for?
I mean, it's hard to say. If you're wanting to know the value of an item, then you're obviously looking at the monetary value. Then that's something completely different, and you take that to a collector. But if you're taking it to a party, then it's something you want to get rid of. So you're taking it to then gain something back from somebody else's junk.
So you don't lose out, basically.
So you don't lose out, absolutely.
Yeah, I must say I'm really attached to this mirror. Well, there you go. A hot new trend to revitalize your home this summer. And why not cool things down during these hot summer months with one of these deliciously refreshing aromatic iced teas? A different way to enjoy your tea during our hot summer months. And if you want to stand a chance to win a fabulous gift pack of 5 Roses flavored teas, SMS the keywords 5 Roses plus your name and city to 33378. SMSs are charged at R1.50 each. T's and C's do apply and are available on our website. Until next time, keep cool and remember, nobody makes better tea than you and 5 Roses.
Okay, so it's official. I am a baker. I've got a mouthful of chocolate, but I've actually made a cake.
Ta-da!
This is the first chocolate cake I've ever made. Thank you, Claire, for your assistance.
So obviously it's a flourless one, so it's going to be a bit more dense than your usual fluffy floured cake. We're going to get decorating. So cocoa
That's
on
my
there,
favourite
you go
part.
there. I'm going to use some of these beautifully
What do you mean cocoa?
Just liberally coated over, sort of shake it over the top there. I've got some chocolate coated almonds over here. We're just going to roughly chop them. Hopefully they don't go all over the place.
This looks great. I've actually achieved
This is
something.
the thing with it when it comes to cake. There's so many simple ways to decorate a cake, and it just looks so beautiful.
I mean, that just...
So next up, you're going to drizzle it with chocolate. So take that and just go wild drizzling it all over. And the cool thing about decorating is that it doesn't have to be uniform. It doesn't have to be any sort of, you know, perfect method. Well, these little almond guys are going all over the place, but we'll get there eventually.
I am absolutely loving this.
Go wild. Go like, lots
I
and lots and
am
lots.
just inspired. The creativity is flowing like the dark chocolate.
So if the cake wasn't chocolatey enough, we've got some more melted dark chocolate. We've got some more chocolate buttons or chocolate chips. And we're just going to sprinkle these all over the top, make it a little bit nice.
I had a plan for this decoration, and I don't know if those little things were involved in it.
If you've got kids around, they can pick up all the pieces and eat them as you go.
That's true.
So let's not
This is going to taste so good.
And, what's going to happen with all the leftover chocolate in the bowl, do you think?
I'm going to lick it. Diet starts tomorrow. It is official. But this is just, like, I just need more and more and more.
Okay, so now some more extra chocolatey almonds. So obviously we put almonds on the inside, so these almonds on top are just going to complement
These almonds are sensational. Do yourself a favour. They would even make a great gift for somebody. In fact, this cake would make a great gift.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that we were about 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 almonds short as we came back. Now, how cool does that look? Delicious. Done.
Oh, my word. Okay, this is just sensational. This is probably one of the most beautiful looking cakes ever. Be sure to visit our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, for this recipe and for this incredible, incredible everything. Now, after the break, we go and we showcase Sun Goddess, and we have a look at some breathtaking items. And don't forget to enter our Go Green SMS competition. All of the details for this week's question are available on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, and it is the last week to enter and get SMSing. So here's a reminder of what you can win.
The Afternoon Express team is going green. Join us every Tuesday at 4 p.m. until September as we bring you the most innovative trends in sustainable fashion, food, decor and design, as well as handy tips to help you reduce your carbon footprint.
Answer our Go Green question every Tuesday and stand a chance to win a R1,000 Woolies gift card every week.
Plus, simply by entering, you also go into the big draw for the ultimate grand prize worth over R500,000.
Including a dream sustainable kitchen makeover from Cordev, fitted with Bosch appliances with R300,000. Also, up to R250,000 worth of home upgrades so you can live off the grid. Plus, food and homeware from Woolworths valued at R75,000. And a R25,000 towards a school of your choice with My School.
So, go big, go green with Afternoon Express every Tuesday at 4 p.m. to win these amazing prizes.
Get 15% off with W Rewards when you pay with your Woolies card. Get the card, get the rewards.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, make sure you catch Top Billing this evening at 7:30 right here on 3. Lorna spends a day with Mikasa's Jay Something, who is amazing. I've got the biggest crush on him. And then they chat about Mikasa's 5th anniversary, and he makes her a special dish in the kitchen.
Oh, wow. Now, we're still in the loft with Tando and Vanya, and they've bought some pieces that they showcased at the London Fashion Week, and you're going to take us through them, right?
Sure.
Okay, bring
Love
it
to.
on.
Thank you.
As I mentioned to you before, our range was Afro, Luxe, Endurance, and we had to take very strong, iconic pieces from South Africa. They had to represent who we are and be unashamedly South African. So this is a take on evening wear. It celebrates this Tolo Zulu hat, which is very, very powerful and iconic with the shweshwe, which you usually find in blue and red, but we thought let's just go with the yellow to give it a nice twist. Something around the waist, which is called the kungu belt. Very South African, very iconic once again, and this just caused a sensation. People couldn't believe. They wouldn't stop. Yeah, no.
What is your fabrics are so amazing?
Yeah, about your range that appeals to that audience, do you think? What is it that just grabs them like nothing else?
I think it's the signature handcrafting. People are used to like a lot of beautiful clothes, but people like a lot of meaning also behind clothes. They like seeing things they've never seen before. And like we said, the South African aesthetic is not as widely known as the others. If you think of shweshwe fabrics, they're not as, you don't find them in other parts of the world, unlike your, your Congolese fabrics, your other African fabrics.
Now this is stunning though, and that fabric is amazing, of course, with Tata Madiba's face. That is a corset that needs to be in everybody's closet.
Oh, thank you, Jeannie.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you,
can dress it up and down.
Yes.
I'd wear that corset with jeans.
Okay, here we're having a bit of fun.
Yes.
You know, it's summer. Summer's coming up now. What we've done is basically taken the different fabrics, different fabrics, and put them together. This is a Zwilake pattern for us as well. Very interesting, very fun.
Because quilting gives it a very unique South African feel, because you have to have the different fabrics from South Africa to make it a quilt. Exactly. So this cannot be copied anywhere else in the world.
Totally.
And even we can't copy ourselves either. As in, if you try and you remake this dress, it will look different, because you will take whatever quilting you've got at the time. So it's a very unique piece that appeals to clients. It's actually one of our best-selling items, because people like the uniqueness of it, that it's hard to repeat.
It must have done very well in London as well, because I can imagine somebody going to like Royal Ascot in that exact outfit.
Yes, no, you've got it. Okay, this is more of the South African patchwork again, Zwilake. You know, when my wife first made this in, I think, about 3-4 years ago, putting the different cultures together, people were like, no, you can't. But she was like, why not? And you see how beautifully it works.
Absolutely.
You've got the Tsonga, you've got the Zulu, you've got the Sotho, you've got the Tswana, you've got the Xhosa, and, you know, underneath and then on top of that, you've got Mandela bringing it all together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, with the jacket.
It's a South African story. It's really a celebration of the cultures of South Africa working together, fashion-wise.
You know what I absolutely love about your brand? You've been so consistent in what it is that you represent. No matter what's happened, even through your business and your different journeys, you've held on to that, like that little thread that runs through everything. What is it? How would you coin it?
The way we see it, branding is a promise, and we have stuck to our promise. So yes, we have evolved, and you know, things happen and change, but we've always got to go back to the root, back to where we were, basically.
Wow, and this gorgeous print.
Thank you. Also for us, it's really about, now that we're going internationally, taking South African fashion, you also want to add value to world trends. You can't show people things that they've seen like a season later. So when we bring you things like South African silhouettes, South African fabrics, people stop and look and they say, okay, now let's see what South Africa has to offer. And that has obviously helped us also even as a business strategy that, you know, you have to have a unique selling point. Whatever business you're in, be it food, be it music, what is it that you're offering that somebody else can't offer?
That red number was gorgeous.
Thank you.
And the thing with us is, you know, it's one thing to showcase, but we're also about the business of fashion as well. So we're going to go showcase, we are speaking to designers, boutique owners, and more importantly, to be able to exhibit and sell there and there on the spot. That's very important to us.
That's incredible.
We've just come back from...
That's the point.
Yeah, no, for sure. We've just come back from Winston-Salem, North Carolina in America, where we were doing the Black Theatre Arts Festival about 6 weeks ago. Wonderful, wonderful experience, you know. It's about the cross-cultural exchange, people loving what we do. And in America, you know, we had to, in terms of, things are cheaper, but the volumes were unbelievable, you know. There we went to go
Unfortunately, we're running out of time. So thank you so much for coming through to the show today. We've got some chocolate cake for you guys.
Make sure you join us tomorrow for Afternoon Express as we kick off your weekend. In the first 15 minutes, we chat to award-winning Nigerian actress Nse Ikpe Etim about her debut South African film. In the kitchen, we're making a fresh spring asparagus and pea risotto.
Until then,
happy eating.
Happy eating. Ciao. Good night.
South Africa, it was real.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, Nigerian actress Nse Ikpe Etim joins us on the couch, and we chat to the men behind the Oscar-winning documentary Searching for Sugar Man about the release of their new book.
Nada. Feel Good production.